Cynthia's life in Nigeria was a tapestry of struggle and resilience. At 20, she was a single mother to her son, Ken, barely 2 years old, with eyes that sparkled like the Lagos sunrise. Her boyfriend had vanished when she told him she was pregnant, leaving her to face the world alone. She worked long hours as a waitress in a bustling market cafe, her hands callous from scrubbing tables and her heart heavy with dreams of a better life. Nigeria was home, but it was also a cage. Poverty and uncertainty pressed against her from every side. One humid evening, as she rocked Ken to sleep in their cramped room, Cynthia made a decision. She would leave Nigeria and chase a future in Queensland, Australia, a place she'd only seen in pictures, golden beaches, endless skies, and promises of opportunity. With every penny she'd saved, she applied for a visa, clutching Ken tightly as they boarded a plane to a land that felt like a leap into the unknown. Queensland greeted Cynthia with a humid breeze and a daunting silence. She found a small apartment in Brisbane, barely affordable, and a job at a cafe called Sunnybrew. Life as a single mother in a foreign land was no easier than it had been in Nigeria. The weight of raising Ken, navigating a new culture, and making ends meet pressed down on her. But Cynthia was no stranger to hardship. She smiled through her exhaustion, sang lullabies to Ken in Yoruba, and held on to hope. One busy afternoon at Sunnybrew, as Cynthia balanced plates and refilled coffee mugs, the door swung open with a jangle. Trevor stumbled in, his face flushed and his breath uneven. He wore a paint-splattered jacket and carried a sketchbook under his arm. Before Cynthia could greet him, he leaned over the counter and whispered, "Can I hide here for a while?" Cynthia raised an eyebrow, her hand still moving to wipe down the counter. From what? Fans, Trevor said, glancing nervously at the door. "I'm an artist. They recognized me outside, and it's a lot." Cynthia didn't know who he was, nor did she care much for celebrity drama. But his honest eyes and the chaos outside, where a small crowd was gathering, made her soften. She smirked. "You can hide here, but only if you help me." To her surprise, Trevor grinned. "Deal." He rolled up his sleeves and started organizing containers behind the counter. He wiped tables, stacked cups, and even mopped a spill, moving with a quiet efficiency that matched her own. Cynthia couldn't help but laugh as she watched this stranger dive into her world. The crowd eventually dispersed, and the cafe grew quiet. As Cynthia closed up for the night, Trevor lingered. They talked about Nigeria, about art, about Ken's love for drawing stick figures. There was an ease to their conversation, like two rivers meeting. When Cynthia asked his name again, he smiled softly. "Trevor Wilson. And you are?" "Cynthia," she replied, her heart lighter than it had been in months. Trevor returned to Sunnybrew the next day, this time without a crowd chasing him. He ordered a coffee, sketched in his notebook, and waited until Cynthia's shift ended. They talked again, and then again the next day. Soon, Trevor was a regular, not just at the cafe, but in Cynthia's life. He brought crayons for Ken, who beamed at the chance to draw alongside the artist man. Their first date was simple, a walk along the Brisbane River, Ken giggling between them as they shared ice cream. Trevor listened as Cynthia spoke of her dreams, to give Ken a life where he could chase his own passions, not just survive. Cynthia learned that Trevor was a painter, known for vibrant landscapes that captured the soul of Queensland. He was kind, grounded, and saw beauty in the smallest things, like the way Cynthia's eyes lit up when she spoke of her son. What began as a chance encounter grew into something deeper. Trevor embraced Ken as his own, teaching him to mix colors and paint sunsets. Cynthia found herself falling for Trevor's quiet strength, his laughter, and the way he made her feel seen. Within a year, they were inseparable. Cynthia and Trevor felt a strong connection. After a few dates, their bond grew deeper, and Trevor proposed. Cynthia said yes, and they got married. Now, 18 years later, they are still happily together, married, inseparable, and blessed with 3 wonderful children, Robert, Mike, and Julie. Trevor also welcomed Cynthia's first son, Ken, and raised him as his own. What started as a small moment in a cafe turned into a beautiful lifelong love story. If you are motivated by Cynthia's story, please like, share with your loved ones, and subscribe for more inspiring true stories. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you never miss the next one.